This is a big weapon being used here by Ned Yost in the 4th inning of this Game 7. He allowed Guthrie to face Belt after the first 2 reached with hits. Belt flied one deep enough to left to advance the runner Sandoval to 3rd, then to hit. And now strike 2 on Crawford.
I think it's his top bullpen weapon. This is a changeup here from Herrera at 90. And I say that because he's the one guy Ned Yost said he can use as long as 3 innings. Davis and Holland, much shorter usage.
Pablo Sandoval's been on base twice and scored twice. Giants lead 3-2, 4th inning, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. That's foul. How about the Giants in this World Series? They have not scored a run, and they haven't put their leadoff man on base. 20 times they've done it, and they've scored all 30 of their runs in this World Series. And this inning started on a base hit by Sandoval.
All postseason, so resourceful. 71 runs this postseason, 20 of them have come in without a hit. Crawford here trying for a hit or the productive out.
1st and 3rd, 1 out. Ball 1 inside.
Well, the one thing with all the power that the Royals have coming out of the bullpen, you don't get a lot of double play balls. You're going to get fly balls or balls that are hit, broken bat bloopers that we saw like Mike Morris because of the power that they're providing. Very rare when you get a double play ball. That's why their infield plays so deep, not looking to turn 2 all the time.
1-2. Got him on the outside corner, 2 out.
The reaction of Brandon Crawford looked like he was looking for a ball inside, and you just tip your cap. You're going to paint a ball 98 on the black on the corner right there. There's nothing you can do with it.
Now 2 out for Juan Perez, who struck out his first time against Guthrie. Looks like Affeldt will go back out there for the bottom of this inning. Strike 1 on Perez. He's going to have to crank it up another notch.
Well, I think he's going to actually shorten up a little more. That's too big to catch up to this. Looked like he was going for the fountains.
Gordon, Perez, and Moustakas for the Royals in the bottom of the inning. Should end the inning. Escobar will go to first. But the Giants regain the lead. And who got it started? Pablo Sandoval. A wink. The confidence. The base running. He scored twice as the Giants lead games. Good breaking ball from Affeldt as he eaten up some big outs here for the Giants. Start the bottom of the 4th inning. San Francisco up 3-2. Gordon with an RBI double. Good base running and a run scored in the 2-run second. Eyes keep darting down to the bullpen for the Giants, and that name that lurks over this Game 7, Madison Bumgarner. When he will get up, if he will get up, according to Bruce Bochy, if he gets up, he's coming in the game. Strike 2 on Gordon.
Talking about Affeldt eating up outs. He's chewed up 4 so far. His high for the season is 6. As he said, I'm too old to go for strikeouts. I like to get hitters out of there quickly. As long as he keeps that pitch count manageable, he's thrown as many as 39 pitches. He's going to chew up some more outs.
Play by Joe Panik. Last inning might be the play of this game and maybe the World Series, depending on who wins here tonight. As you said, Harold, with a runner at first, Kane, who can fly. Nobody out. The ball ripped up the middle by Hosmer instead of 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Panik not only kept it on the infield, only got 1 out, but got a double play.
That's a terrific play. Flipping it out of the glove did 2 things for you. One, it beat Kane to the bag at second, but it also allowed you to turn the pivot on Hosmer.
Oh, that hits Gordon in the back. Got away from Affeldt. The second hit batsman of the night for Kansas City.
Breaking ball didn't come back.
I'm sure Bruce Bochy obviously watching him closely, especially because what I said about the outs, remember this too. He obtained the out to end the second inning, sat down, went out for the third, sat down, back out. Well, you see a relief pitcher sit down twice.
Activity stirs for the Giants in their bullpen. It's Lincecum again. Here's Perez, double play ball. Panic, a flip. They got them both. Second consecutive inning, the Giants' middle infielders have turned to double play.
Between the Giants bullpen and the Royals bullpen, they will draw that double play ball for you to get out of an inning.
Check the running of Perez down the line, clearly compromised. That's obviously all he's got, trying to beat that one out.
Not only running, but hitting also. Doesn't have the legs to drive a baseball. That swing was basically all arms.
Here's Moustakas 0 for 1. Homered last night, has 5 home runs, which is a Royals record in a single postseason. Shift on the infield. Strike one.
You know, I find interesting with Perez not being able to use his lower legs, drive the ball. We saw it similar with Yadi Molina before he got hurt. We knew that he had the oblique injury. He dropped the bunt. And runners up were all, what is he doing bunting in this situation? The next at bat he was injured. Maybe Perez moves up a bunt next time as well, instead of trying to swing it.
1 ball, 1 strike now on Moustakas. Jeremy Affeldt, a guy who's been part of what they're calling the core 4 out in the bullpen. Affeldt, Javier Lopez, Santiago Casilla, the closer, and Sergio Romo. They won it all in 2010, won it all in 2012. They lead here in Game 7 tonight. Strike 2 on Moustakas.
Some credit to that man, Bruce Bochy, the way he uses relief pitchers. All these guys into their 30s, still effective for so many years.
2-2.
In this day and age when everybody thinks a reliever is just a reliever, he still strongly believes, I want you to know your role and when you need to get ready and when you don't. And I think that's huge. And we're talking about a lot with that guy in the middle right there, Madison Bumgarner, clearly a starter. As to once he gets up, he's in. And I think Bochy does a great job with all those guys knowing when I get warm, I'm hot, I'm in a game.
Moustakas, left side, right at Sandoval. He's there, got me out. Pitching and defense tonight since Affeldt took over for the Giants. Panic and then Posey. San Francisco leads by 1 here in Game 7. 1-0. In the air to left, well hit. Back to Grant for number 1, Alex Gordon, 1 away.
What a beautiful play. Looked like a defensive back. Watch him turn and run full speed. And just runs this ball down easy. Here's a great look at it. He'll turn, open the hips, go get it. Almost like guarding somebody's running out pattern.
He's got a great arm along with being able to go get it. He's got Gold Glove awards. Former third baseman, and now Perez gets another hit by the baseball as Panic tries to bunt and foul tips it into him.
Well, he had him too. Moustakas was playing back. Anytime you catch that guy behind the bag, that's a base hit for a bunter. I'd come back with it to begin. He's going to stay in that position. You're already thinking about it on one pitch.
Strike 2 from Kelvin Herrera.
This is some cheddar right there. You can almost hear the seams on these great microphones we have as that ball sizzled to the plate.
reinforce what Bruce Bochy told us about Bumgarner. When he's up, he's in the game. Nothing conditional about that warm-up session out there. And how about Jeremy Eflin? The longest outing of his postseason career. His longest outing since July of 2012. Huge bridge in this game provided by Eflin.
He goes 2 1/3. 1 hit. All zeros. This is a foul ball. I know we've said it seems like 700 times already, but the guy at the plate is coming back to grab his bat. Talk about Eflin all you want. He was good. He gave the Giants exactly what they needed. Getting outs after Hudson couldn't get through the second inning. His line would look a lot different if not for the play by the rookie Joe Panik to his right for the double play.
That's a huge play. You know, you continue to talk about it because it's that big in a game like this.
Herrera with a count of 0-2 as out number 2.
Herrera looks better tonight than he did the other night, showing the ability to bounce back, but he's got some movement now. This comes back, looks like a little changeup grip. The roll over, got some movement. They've been trying to throw fastballs by Joe Panik. It just hasn't happened.
Here's Buster Posey 0 for 2. 4 out of 24 in this World Series.
Looks frustrated, doesn't he? A lot of swings and misses. Seems to be in between, behind on fastballs, out in front of breaking balls.
We're talking about a guy who has led 2 National League pennant winning teams from the catching position in home runs in his career. This year he led the club with 22.
You almost never see him take a swing with the hand coming off the bat, and that's how far out in front he was of the changeup.
About 99 after the changeup, ball 1.
It's not even fair. That's not fair, Joe. 86. Buster's in between, though. I like the conversation. He is in between right now, but it is one swing away from him.
That gets him over the inside corner. Herrera gets through the top of the 5th, and here he comes. Madison, for a guy who's thrown 265 innings this season overall, is making a relief appearance here. Last time he did so was Game 6 of the NLCS in 2010 in Philadelphia. Worked 2 scoreless innings, 26 pitches on 2 days rest. So far this postseason, you saw the numbers: 4-1, 1.13, and he's 4-0 in his World Series career.
I don't care if he strikes everybody out or gets hit. This is one of the coolest things ever. To see him, I want the ball, come out of the pen with such a great resume already. This is awesome.
Infante will lead it off. Let's figure out Bumgarner. Ball 1 up and away, and according to his manager, Bruce Bochy, 45-50 pitches is the usual side day for Bumgarner, but this situation, guys, is anything but usual.
A little bit different than a side day, huh? I think difficulty could be how long you go with him. What if he's throwing well?
On the inside corner, Infante didn't like it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nasty cutter. This is a big sign right here. What kind of stuff does he have? Look at how far that ball's breaking. Now you may wonder, what's a guy do on a side day? He usually just gets a nice work in, gets up a good lather, may work on something, but it's not usually maxed out. This is maxed out today.
That's in the air. The leadoff man is on. ball.
I think the one adjustment that we have seen this game is hitters taking the ball the other way. A lot of guys are spinning off on pitches, no matter who the pitcher was earlier in the series. Tonight, staying with it and driving the ball the other way.
Back to the top of the order, Escobar. Ball one down and away as he shows bunt, smothered by Posey. That got Sandoval moving from third.
That got me peeking to the on-deck circle.
They like Aoki against left-handed pitchers. Bumgarner, not your normal lefty by any stretch of the imagination. Don't often see the bunt to move up left on left against Bumgarner.
Escobar's had good swings tonight. Throw over to see if Escobar will tip his hand.
And he did. And that's exactly right, Joe. What they're doing, they want to see, particularly with the left-handed pitcher, because as a hitter, you got to start. Once he lifts that leg, you got to start your pivot. And now he has the option to go first. They saw him give it up.
He gets out of the way, ball two.
After seeing that he was going to be bunting, he wants to bust him in with the cutter. In this situation with the third baseman in, you're looking to bunt at the first base. Bumgarner knows that. Nobody bunts more than a National League pitcher.
Still bunting on 2-0. Back to Bumgarner. Only playing first. One away. Tying run to second. As we come to the top of the hour, 9 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone, we'll give you a game summary. It's presented by PlayStation 4. Greatness awaits. Starters are gone. Tim Hudson went an inning and 2/3. Michael Morse has had a big night. His RBI base hit into right, the difference in the game right now. Bumgarner, who has dominated all postseason, comes in out of the bullpen. That's us. Tying run at second, one out. Here is Nori Aoki.
Who, by the way, 0 for 16 against Madison Bumgarner.
Well, it's an interesting bunt play when you're down one in the fifth, but this is the way the Royals play. And it's hard to question it. They've gone to a Game 7 in the World Series.
But I'll say this. The way Escobar's been swinging, not just tonight, but throughout this series, it's a bit of a gamble by Ned Yost to take the bat out of Escobar's hands. Bunt with Escobar, and right now, leaving in the lap of Aoki, who is 1 for 12 in this World Series and hitless against Bumgarner. Ball one.
I'm with you. I didn't think it was the time to drop the bunt. You're only in the fifth. He's swinging the bat real well. But as we've seen, this is how they play.
Infante at second, one out. Ball two.
Clearly so far, 8 pitches in. Not the same command we're used to seeing from Bumgarner. One of the best strike throwers in the game. Not on point yet.
He's been behind all 3 hitters. There's a strike, 2-1 at 90 from the left-hander who was hitting as high as 94 on the radar gun in Game 5.
Well, the two things you're going to suffer from if you're tired is your velocity and your location.
That's down the left field line. Caught Perez, who's in there for his defense, makes a nice catch for out number 2.
The positioning, as we move to Game 7, you know where guys are going to hit the ball. Great jump, but also where they had him sit this ball off the bat. You're thinking double in the corner.
think of where they've been with Ishikawa, who's still a novice in the outfield. And tonight, Bruce Bochy told us before the game, that slip by Ishikawa in the game last night, he said, that stove's hot. I'm not going back there and touching it. I'm going with defense tonight. It just paid off.
It's just too big of an outfield to defend. You need your best defensive outfield out there at all times.
Here's the best hitter for the Royals with runners in scoring position. Kane, strike one. He didn't like the call. Lorenzo Kane digs in there, hitting .462 with runners in scoring position this postseason, and you can see why he didn't like it.
That ball's down.
Kane getting a good look. Now chases 0-2. 93 from Bumgarner.
Excuse me, swing. That's one of those high pitches that you think, because your eyes are so close, it looks good.
Now Kane has to protect. Able to lay off ball one. Madison Bumgarner has won in the World Series at the age of 21, the age of 23. He's 2-0 this World Series at the age of 25. And out of the bullpen. The 1-2. The tying run at second, 2 out, and a 1-2 count on Kane. We remind you tonight's telecast sponsored by Chevrolet. We got a long way to go in this one. Kane strikes out, and Bumgarner adds another scoreless inning. The Royals bunt in the inning. Aoki line down. Kane strikes out. Still 3-2 Giants driven. Herrera out for his third inning. Finished off the fourth, worked the fifth. The deal with Sandoval, who has not been retired tonight. He scored twice. Takes a strike. Just a finish on the bottom of the fifth inning after the base hit by Infante to start. Madison Bumgarner fell behind Alcides Escobar with a count of 2-0. The tying run at first, nobody out. Strike two. Ned Yost stayed with the bunt. I think the more aggressive play would be to see what Bumgarner has and not give him an out while he's behind on the count to a guy swinging it well at 2-0.
Yeah, you would think maybe a bunt for a hit if you want to bunt, or hit and run, or 2-0. Escobar swinging the bat.
Aoki lined out. Kane struck out. 3-2 game. Ball one on Sandoval.
I think there's two plays that will be discussed right now at this point. The panic play on the double play, and then the Escobar bunt. Those are the two things that kind of stand out as plays in this game that kind of made a big difference.
Well, especially when you're bunting up to an 0-for-16 matchup.
Talking about Aoki and Bumgarner. Here's a 1-2. That's another hit for Sandoval. On base for the third time tonight.
All leading off an inning.
Does he hit a strike? Of course not. Another pitch out of the zone.
Hard it is to hit that ball 98 miles an hour up and away and running. Hand-eye coordination is incredible.
Now Sandoval hitting .413 in his World Series career. And Hunter Pence digs in. Might be. Could be. It is.
Well, it's a big play right here. I wasn't anticipating the double play from Herrera because he throws so hard and gets so many balls hit in the air. Taylor made. Might be, could be, is.
Well, for pitch count, him getting through this 6th inning, trying to get the game to Wade Davis, who's getting loose for the Royals out in their bullpen.
Yeah, the longest outing of his career is 3 innings. Talking about Kelvin Herrera.
They got all winter to rest. This is it.
Here's Belt. 1 for 2 with a productive out his last time up, deep enough to advance a runner to third. A fly ball to left, and now takes a strike.
Well, he's pitching now too, huh? Dropping in breaking balls. We saw the changeup.
Yeah, he's got much better stuff tonight than he has the whole series.
That's foul. He came in, Herrera, in the 4th inning with 2 on, 1 out. Ed Yost allowed Jeremy Guthrie, the starter, to face Belt with 2 on, nobody out after back-to-back hits. Herrera was greeted by a base hit by Michael Morse for the lead. Belt's only home run this postseason, the game winner, the 18-inning Game 2 divisional series tilt at Washington.
I keep looking for that ball inside that they just buried in on him the whole series.
Here is a 1-2. That is a base hit into right. Belt on for the 2nd time tonight. And the batter will be Michael Morse as Brandon Belt has gone 2 for 3 in Game 7.
So that's pretty impressive right there. We saw the breaking ball first pitch for a strike, 2 changeups, and then got, here it is, 99. And he timed it. It was on it. Not inside where they've lived, more over the plate.
Yeah, that's a big miss by them right here. But anytime you're facing a guy throwing that hard, you've got to look fastball and adjust. Fastball's designed to stay in the zone. The breaking balls are not. So you look for that heater. Rod Carew caught that a number of years.
Here's Morse. 1 on, 2 out. Strike 1. 2 hits in the inning, but a double play ball in between. Big bats coming up for Kansas City in the bottom of this 6th. 97 fouled back by Morse, strike 2.
Yeah, you can tell he's getting a little tired. He's missing his spots. The base hit to Belt was a pitch that was missed. Look where Perez is setting up. Look where the ball runs to.
Sends Game 7 into the bottom of the 6th with the big bats coming up. It'll be Hosmer, Billy Butler, and Alex Gordon for the Royals, who trail by 1. An MLB record 48 2/3 innings pitched this postseason for Madison Bumgarner. Hosmer was trying to tie it with 1 swing. Obviously, more opportunity for a guy like Bumgarner with extra rounds, but it's also for a pitcher more opportunity for failure. All he has done is deal, put up zeros. The 0-1. Strike 2.
I just go back to the Game 1. Hosmer hits the ball to right center field that Blanco ran down when he was facing Bumgarner. He torched that ball, didn't go anywhere. Bumgarner used to pitching in big ballparks. He's not afraid to challenge.
The 0-2. Popped up. Should be out number 1. Crawford out. Hosmer is 0 for 3.
I wanted to go back back to the last out of the 5th inning. Lorenzo, watch how Bumgarner works him. Shows him the backdoor cutter, gets the call. And now keep an eye on Buster Posey. His target will be at the top of the strike zone. Every pitch coming out of the crouch to get these. And Bumgarner just doesn't miss. Upstairs and finally puts him away. Tremendous sequence by Bumgarner. Guys, I noticed the last few pitches. The grunt is back from Madison Bumgarner. He is dealing.
Here's Billy Butler. And went around the strike zone. Ball 1 to the guy who has been with this organization longer than anybody on this current Royals roster. 1 for 2 tonight. On the inside corner. Butler didn't like it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tell you what's frustrating as a hitter. There's two at bats now. We've seen with Kane on a ball that was down, chances at bat. Butler not liking that ball up and in. It's a strike. Hang with it, Billy.
Breaking ball in for a strike at 87. It's 1-2.
That's been the biggest difference for me the last couple of years. Bumgarner working both sides of the plate. Naturally cuts the ball in on right-handers. And now that cut fastball away opens up the other side of the plate.
I think the one thing we're seeing right now, Joe, from Bumgarner is the rhythm that we saw as a starter in a couple games he dominated. Let's get the ball, here it comes right now. He's in a nice groove.
Here's a 2-2. Think about where we are right now in this game with these two bullpens. Right now, Bochy's got his big weapon on the mound. Madison Bumgarner trying to bridge the gap to the late innings. They have good guys down there. But the game right now is in the hands of Madison Bumgarner. On the other side, Ned Yost has used Kelvin Herrera. He's got Wade Davis getting ready. He'll take over, it appears, in the 7th inning. He's got his closer, Greg Holland, ready for more than an inning if he needs it here tonight.
Well, he said before the game, I'm going to use my guys, meaning the 5 guys he wanted with Bumgarner, Herrera, Davis, Holland, and Finnegan if he needed it. Those are the 5 he wanted out to shoot.
Here's a 2-2. Popped up into center field, shallow center as Butler slams his back. 2 out. Now the Geico in-game box score for the Kansas City Royals. RBI double in this game for Alex Gordon. That had to feel good for the guy who's digging in right now. Sac fly for Omar Infante, who also led off against Bumgarner last inning with a base hit, but he was left on. Here is Alex Gordon, who has an RBI double, a run scored, been hit by a pitch. Strike 1.
Kansas City, obviously you want people on base, but you really try to grind out at bats against Bumgarner. You know, 2 days of rest after throwing 117 pitches. You know there is a clock on him, a pitch count on him.
That is foul, third base side, long run. Nobody will get there. Out of play.
So even if you can't, get a run against him, at least drive the pitch count up, make him work, try to get to somebody else in the bullpen.
Yeah, but he throws too many strikes, and he's in a groove right now. You find yourself down 0-2. That's the difference with this guy. Great theory, and I follow you. You want to ride him out, but you find yourself 0-2. You may as well take your shot if you get a pitch to hit.
In the air to center, Blanco is there to his right. Another scoreless inning put up by Madison Bumgarner. Continues to roll. It's a 3-2 game. Giants on top. That's the way he's dealing with the stress of this game 7 as we go to inning number 7. Brandon Crawford will deal with Wade Davis, who was automatic all year long. It's gone Guthrie, Herrera, now Wade Davis. You see that number the guy who did not allow an extra base hit this season until the very end of July. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a late cut on that ball right there. Tough to pick up.
It's Crawford now, then Juan Perez, then Gregor Blanco. Bullpen quiet for the Giants. That means more from Bumgarner. Strike 2.
Yeah, we've seen some terrific arms tonight and in this series in particular, but a game like tonight when everybody's on deck, you just see why these clubs were able to advance.
Each shot has needed only 3 pitchers to this point. The count evens 2-2.
I'm just amazed at Madison Bumgarner, guys. I mean, it's only the 3rd time since '88 in the World Series somebody made 2 starts and came out of the bullpen in relief. And he's already gotten 6 outs. And it's still his ball game.
Here's a 2-2 to Crawford. Got him swinging 1 away. In case you missed it, stay tuned. T-Mobile thanks the fans for being part of the Big 7. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Bottom 3 in the order will bat for Kansas City in this inning. It'll be Perez, Moustakas, and Infante. Is it a stretch at this point to think Bruce Bochy could ride Madison Bumgarner all the way to Casilla, his closer here tonight?
Oh, no doubt, and he's being economic with his pitches right now, so he's got a shot.
Strike 1 on Juan Perez.
27 pitches for Madison Bumgarner to this point. They're talking about maybe getting 45 to 50.
Just don't see any stress. I mean, it's 267 innings into the season.
Here's a 1-1. Strike 2.
Well, the innings is remarkable. When you start talking about pitch count, you got to take into account how big this kid is. And he can handle a big load.
6'5", 235. 1-2. 2 out.
Oh boy, it is getting good. The pitching has changed the game. It has taken it to a whole nother level and a different stress level at that. They're all locking in right now.
Bring in Gregor Blanco, who's 0 for 3. It's a home run in this World Series. It came against Ventura here in Game 2. It feels like about 2 months ago. Strike 1.
Seems like, Joe, you finish a sentence and you go strike 1. That's what we've heard for the last 2 innings. It's incredible how well these guys are attacking the zone and putting the hitters on their heels.
Here's the 0-1. Why not? Try and change it up, showing bunt, taking ball down and in.
I hear you. Watching him pitch the other day for the first time in person, that cutter.
I'm sorry, guys. Apparently my thing is being stupid and shutting off. Freaking piece of crap.
Formaldehyde, nitrobenzene. This actually has over 7,000 chemicals.
Mr. Essler.
Don't get me started on what they do to you.
If cigarettes looked as dangerous as they are, you'd run like hell. Find out the real cost of tobacco.
Work. Try to get to somebody else in the bullpen.
Yeah, but he throws too many strikes, and he's in a groove right now. You find yourself down 0-2. That's the difference with this guy. Great theory, and I follow you. You want to ride him out, but you find yourself 0-2. You may as well take your shot if you get a pitch to hit.
In the air to center, Blanco is there to his right. Another scoreless inning put up by Madison Bumgarner. Continues to roll. It's a 3-2 game. Giants on top. That's the way he's dealing with the stress of this game 7 as we go to inning number 7. Brandon Crawford will deal with Wade Davis, who was automatic all year long. It's gone Guthrie, Herrera, now Wade Davis. You see that number. The guy who did not allow an extra base hit this season until the very end of July. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a late cut on that ball right there. Tough to pick up.
It's Crawford now, then Juan Perez, then Gregor Blanco. Bullpen quiet for the Giants. That means more from Bumgarner. Strike 2.
Yeah, we've seen some terrific arms tonight, and in this series in particular, but a game like tonight when everybody's on deck, you just see why these clubs were able to advance.
Each side has needed only 3 pitchers to this point to count evens 2-2.
I'm just amazed at Madison Bumgarner, guys. I mean, it's only the 3rd time since '88 in the World Series somebody's made 2 starts and came out of the bullpen in relief. And he's already gotten 6 outs.
Here's a 2-2 to Crawford. Got him swinging, 1 away. In case you missed it, stay tuned. T-Mobile thanks the fans for being part of the Big 7. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Bottom 3 in the order will bat for Kansas City in this inning. It'll be Perez, Moustakas, and Infante. Is it a stretch at this point to think Bruce Bochy could ride Madison Bumgarner all the way to Casilla, his closer here tonight?
Oh, no doubt, and he's being economic with his pitches right now, so he's got a shot.
Strike 1 on Juan Perez.
27 pitches for Madison Bumgarner to this point. They're talking about maybe getting 45 to 50.
Just don't see any stress. I mean, he's 267 innings into this season.
Here's a 1-1. Strike 2.
Well, the innings is remarkable. When you start talking about pitch count, you got to take into account how big this kid is. And he can handle a big load.
6'5", 235.
Mercy.
1-2. 2 out.
Oh boy, it is getting good. The pitching has has changed the game. It has taken it to a whole nother level and a different stress level at that. They're all locking in right now.
Bring in Gregor Blanco, who's 0 for 3. It's a home run in this World Series. It came against Ventura here in Game 2. It feels like about 2 months ago. Strike one.
Seems like, Joe, you finish a sentence and you go strike one. That's what we've heard for the last 2 innings. It's incredible how well these guys are attacking the zone and putting the hitters on their heels.
Here's the 0-1. Why not? Try and change it up, showing bunt, taking ball down and in.
I hear you. Watching him pitch the other day for the first time in person, that cutter, second to none in the big leagues. Just filthy.
That drills the outside corner at 95, strike 2.
I know every time he throws that cutter, I'd ask to see the baseball because it seems lopsided.
And then
Right
you can
there.
equalize it with that.
Exactly. Paint.
2-2. Full count with Panic on deck. Left side, tough play. Escobar. Nice play across his body to end the inning. And a 1-2-3 frame put up by Wade Davis.
This is the play he did not make in San Francisco. The difference, he took another step and caught it on a short hop and made the easy throw across the diamond. Right here, he went to go get it. He attacked it. San Francisco, he laid back, tried to barehand it. Back up.
Breaking ball drops in to Salvador Perez. Pitch number 28. And strike one to the bottom of the 7th.
Well, you got to know with Bumgarner
Strike 2.
executing that nasty breaker ball right there. Perez looking for one thing to do, hit a ball in the seats because he can't move.
He got Bumgarner for a home run back in Game 1. He's the only guy that's been able to solve Bumgarner in that way, knocking a run home. Hit it over the wall. Now he goes into right. Hunter Pence is there, coming again. 1 out. With the bases empty, Moustakas will be the batter. Before the game, Mark Gubicza, a member of the '85 World Series champion Royals, delivered the game ball with Jasmine Fowler, the Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence, Kansas. Nearly 20 years Major League Baseball has partnered with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to provide kids with a world of opportunities. Each year, Boys and Girls Clubs provide more than 4 million kids the chance to have a great future. GreatFutures.org to find out how you too can help. Strike one on Moustakas. Gubicza, who works the job with Victor Rojas, Fox Sports West. 132 wins for Mark with the Royals. Third on the team's all-time list behind Splittorff and Leonard. Here's the 0-2. That's the second strike to a guy that's nothing for two, and now in the hole is Moustakas with one out, nobody on, and Infante next. Has been outstanding for the Giants tonight.
Shoot up his back right there. Again, guys, I'm just astounded by the length they're getting out of Madison Bumgarner. Watch here, rare ball hit the other way from Moustakas. We've seen everything from Pablo Sandoval. He's a pesky leadoff hitter and a good defender tonight. This is what I'm talking about. 2 starts and then pitch in relief. Randy Johnson and C.J. Wilson picking up 4 outs. Bumgarner just keeps going on and on. And guys, a big difference in this game, let's not forget. American League wins the All-Star game. Home field advantage is here. This is now 3 relief pitchers in this game that can pitch 3 innings because you're never forced with a decision about having to hit for them.
Here's a strike to Infante, who has the only hit so far against Bumgarner.
Affeldt, Herrera, now Bumgarner, all able to work without their spot coming up in the order in the American League Park. Of course, we saw that in Game 4. The manager's forced to make decisions with the pitcher hitting.
That is foul. Strike 2.
Starting the line already early in the 7th inning here. There's a half step and a dive for Sandoval. He's already halfway down the line. See where he's starting at. He's going to make sure he takes away a double in this situation.
Pitch number 36 is strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Madison Bumgarner, and he has gone 3 scoreless. What a job. What a pitcher. What a world. As Wade Davis brings it, Manning fouls it back. Madison Bumgarner is further identifying himself as one of the greatest World Series pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball.
There's no question. I said coming into this game, we'd see history. That's what Game 7 gives you. So both starting pitchers in the Game 7 out of there, less than 10 outs. We saw the first instant replay call at first base overturned. But guys, there's nothing like the history we're watching with that man right there. I don't know that we've seen anything like it, ever.
Here's a 1-1. Panic fights it off. Strike 2.
Well, the one thing I was saying is I thought it was cool because you just don't see this in this day and age with pitch counts and everything else and the worry of a young pitcher coming back like he does. To be able to pitch in a situation like this is incredible.
And that's why I say ever. You know, Christy Mathewson, Babe Adams, back in the dead ball era, sure they pitched all the time. These guys are not trained to pitch on 2 days rest like this.
That's on the outside corner. Panic strikes out looking, 1 away in the 8th.
You know, guys, we've marveled all series about the Giants putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. And Wade Davis has come in and just put that to rest real quick. When you have that kind of control and accuracy with the precision of power, very difficult at bat.
Here's Posey now. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Strike 1. The pitching of Bumgarner and what's happened here tonight, the pitching of Bumgarner in the 2 previous starts renders almost everything else moot. I mean, you've got a guy who is the leader of this Giants team in Buster Posey. It's really struggling with the bat, looking for his first extra base hit of this entire postseason as he grounds out to Infante. And it doesn't matter because of what Madison Bumgarner has done in the 2 starts in the relief work here tonight.
And think about all the trouble they've had with every other starting pitcher not named Bumgarner. He is covering a multitude of errors throughout the roster. With some help from this man right here, Pablo Sandoval, the key to the offense tonight.
Well, you look at Sandoval and Pence, the series they've had. Any other year, you're saying MVP series. They played that great. Is there a question if the Giants win who the MVP is? I mean, Madison Bumgarner has been that great.
Bumgarner came in 2-0 with an ERA of in 2 starts this World Series. Opponents hitting 127 against him. Sandoval takes a strike. 13 strikeouts, 1 walk. The other starters had made 4 starts, gone 0-3 with an ERA of 9.82. Now up to 9.92. You see the opponent's average. That's another hit for Sandoval. On base for the 4th time tonight. And he will dig into second base with a 2-out double. And if this is his last game as a San Francisco Giant, the question is, how do they replace somebody that's been this good for this long at this time of year in San Francisco if he walks away?
Well, you don't. That's the answer. You don't know what you're going to get. And if you look around Major League Baseball, third base is one of the weakest positions in the big leagues. It's been a big decline in the last 3 or 4 years of the production at third base. That vaults his value that much higher.
What stays with me is that look and that wink on his face before he took his first at-bat of the game. Almost as if he knew how this game would play out.
Runner at second, 2 out. That's a big run sitting out there for the Giants, leading by 1. By the way, there's nobody getting loose for the Giants in their bullpen here in the 8th. Runner at second, 2 out. Pass, strike 1.
Does he swing hard or what?
There's the wing. Jacket, top of the order for the Royals, 0.26. And he is out there with 268 innings pitched under his belt in 2014. Nobody up in the bullpen, top of the order. Madison's Giants up by 1. Escobar takes a ball. Came on the air talking last night about the Royals, and if you thought down 3 games to 2 they were intimidated, coming back home, this young group was not. They went out and won 10-0. Now they're into the 8th inning down a run. And guys, this was a team that beat the A's in the wild card game 9-8 in 12 innings. They were down 7-3 in the 8th inning to John Lester. And down again, 8-7 into the bottom of the 12th. And Ned Yost's team came back to win it. And that's why they're here. Now they have to figure out Bumgarner. A 1-1 to Escobar. Strike 2, and that got Posey.
That 8th inning, Joe, of that wild card game, that's when Ned Yost said his team believed it was a championship team. Not any time before, not September, not the first 7 innings of that game, but the 8th inning of the wild card game.
Well, you see the foul tips these catchers take. You wonder when their offense disappears, why it disappears. So many things that make it work.
Look at what the bullpens have done tonight. Scoreless. Here's the 1-2. That's outside. Remember the last time Escobar was up after a leadoff hit with Bumgarner just in the game. Man on, nobody out, a 2-0 count. The Royals kept the bunt on with Escobar. Bumgarner's been rolling since he went away. And a strikeout starts the 8th.
Well, we watched him go up the ladder earlier. Question is, does he go? That's tough.
That's a good call by Eric Cooper. Watch the barrel. Generally, an umpire on the lines are looking right down the line, and if the barrel crosses the visual of the foul line, they will ring you up. And that happened right there.
That's about as close as it gets. That's a tough one to read.
Strikeout number 3 for Bumgarner. Here's Aoki. The Royals punted in Infante into scoring position for back in the fifth, and he lined out to left. Ball one inside. Outside corner, ball and a strike at 91.
Well, you can see why he's so tough to hit. Busts him in, then he goes back outside. He puts you in almost a rocking chair position as a hitter to anticipate one side of the plate. He takes it away from him.
That's out of play, strike two. So the count 1-2 with one out, nobody on. This Saturday, two of the Pac-12's best teams collide. Stanford takes on Heisman hopeful Marcus Mariota in fifth-ranked Oregon. The Ducks try to keep their playoff hopes alive in a key divisional battle. Coverage begins 6:30 Eastern right here on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Aoki checks on Crawford. Out number two. Now it's Lorenzo Cain, two out, nobody on.
Now 12 batters Bumgarner has faced, 11 pitches. That's it, out of the strike zone. Just amazing what we're watching right now.
Greg Holland getting ready for the top of the ninth inning while Bumgarner has retired 11 straight. Just makes you shake your head. Incredible to watch as ball one misses down and in.
Plus he gave up a hit to the first guy he faced tonight and then slammed the door.
Just the third pitcher since the early 20th century. 2 or more wins as a starter, 3 or more innings as a reliever. He's throwing hard, still gets it by the bat, and Lorenzo Cain, 1 ball, 1 strike.
My goodness. When you have to go all the way back more than 100 years to the dead ball era to find anything like this, if you didn't know already, you know we're watching something special.
Bumgarner on 1-1. Cain takes strike 2. The question is right now for Bruce Bochy, how do you take him out?
It'd be hard to do.
Santiago Casilla, the closer's barely pitched in this series. The 1-2. Fouled away.
Well, he's in such a great rhythm, Joe. He fell into that the second inning he pitched. It seemed like he was back to that rhythm he was in when he was a starter in game 1 and the other games he pitched in. It's been fantastic. Game 5. Terrific.
Cain battling him here with 2 out, nobody on, and a 1-2 count. Santiago Casilla, the closer for the Giants, has thrown 4 pitches in this World Series that started 8 days ago.
Agonizing decision. You've got to start thinking about it now.
On top of that, you could be faced with an inning in the 9th inning where 2 of the first 3 batters are left-handed batters.
This is the kind of at bat I've been looking for from Kansas City. Grinding out in the bat, slowing Bumgarner down, making him throw extra pitches, hoping there's a payoff somewhere.
Popped him up, got it in on the hands, panic. Ends the 8th. And the 9th inning rolls in. Wow. But all you can say from Madison Bumgarner, wow. 3-2 Giants after 8 in Game 7. He and the Giants have a 1-run lead as Greg Holland, the closer for the Royals, takes over strike 1 on Brandon Belt. Underway in the 9th inning. 3-2 Giants trying to wrap up their third world championship in the last 5 years. Numbers for Holland this postseason, 7 for 7 in save chances, and all he's trying to do is keep it 3-2.
Give it to one-run game. That way one swing can tie it for you.
And in the bottom of this ninth inning, 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Royals. Hosmer, Butler, and Gordon. Nobody up in either pen. To the right side, Infante. 1-1. Caps, hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. Get all the officially licensed World Series gear for the Giants, Royals, and all of baseball. The MLB.com shop.
That was a tough in-between hop for Infante right there. Backing up to get a good hop. That ball got back in on it.
Wade Davis went 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, no loss. Herrera 2 2/3, no runs, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. Here's Michael Morse. Strike 1. It's the RBI by Morse on a ball thrown by Kelvin Herrera that is still holding up from back in the 4th inning.
Loop hit to right field on an 0-2 count. Herrera gave up only 5 hits all year on 0-2 counts.
Strike 2.
Sorry about the cough, guys.
On deck, Brandon Crawford. Well, there's a game summary. Hudson lasted only an inning and 2/3. Bumgarner has taken care of all the work after Jeremy Affeldt went 2 1/3. 0.26 career World Series ERA for Bumgarner, and by far the biggest defensive play of the night since it's game 7 of the series. With a man on, nobody out, panicked to his right, took a hit away, and got a double play. That was in a 2-2 game back in the 3rd inning as Crawford takes ball 1.
Yeah, so many things happened on that play, the flip out of the glove, but also Hosmer, thinking the ball was going through, started to angle as a turn, and then he had to get back into base path and ends up getting doubled up.
Here's a 1-out at Crawford. 2-0.
How about the second out in that double play? Upon further review, the first overturned call on the field of play in World Series history.
Successful challenge by Bruce Bochy. Here's a 2-0. 2-1. Bruce Bochy tonight, guys. We've already talked about how he's headed for the Hall of Fame. He lifted Hudson in the 2nd. He went to Affeldt for 2 1/3. And it's been Bumgarner the rest of the way. With the lead, Madison has taken care of the rest to this point. 2-1. 2-2.
That's been terrifically managed. I think the only question will be the bunt with Escobar that maybe Ned Yost has to answer. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to question these guys on in this game. Like Ned's done all series, he'll answer it how he thinks fit.
Here comes a 2-2. Full count. decision for Bochy. The decision, by the way, has been made. Bumgarner's going back out there. But his closer, Santiago Casilla, has appeared in 19 straight postseason games without allowing a run. But it's going to be Bumgarner. We'll see him next. Here we go. Part of the order for the Royals. Bottom of the ninth. One run stretch. He retired 12 straight, 10 straight in Game 5. But now here, with 2 days of rest, he is gunning for a 5-inning save.
They drafted him in 2007. In his first spring training, they said, you can't throw that way with that slingshot delivery. Sent him to A-ball, didn't do well in 3 starts, and he said, guys, I need to go back to the way I throw. There's nobody who throws like Madison Bumgarner. That's never been more true than tonight.
Here's Hosmer. Ball 1 down and away.
Back to the ball that Hosmer hit in Game 1 to right center field. I keep thinking about that in my mind, and he is thinking, I can hit this guy if I get the pitch I want.
That's going to get out of play to make the count 2-2.
Don't forget, if the Royals get a runner on, Ned Yost, a couple of speed burners on that bench, Terrence Gore, Gerard Dyson.
Like he heard you, he looked around.
One away. 92-mile-per-hour fastball, strikeout number 4.
Well, we've watched him climb the ladder. That's been his out pitch. We watched him with Kane. We watched him with Escobar. And now he goes up top and he gets Hosmer to chase. Out pitch, you think it's going to be the breaking ball. He has used the fastball to elevate and take their aggressiveness and use it against them.
Now Billy Butler. Ball 1 upstairs.
This is the toughest matchup for Bumgarner. Billy Butler handles the ball inside extremely well. 3 for 7 with a home run off Bumgarner.
Breaking ball drops in for strike 1. Butler tonight 1 for 3 on the season, hit 9 home runs. Has not gone deep this postseason. Popped up right side. Will it stay in play? It does. 2 out. Brandon Belt is there, and the Giants are 1 out away from their 3rd World Championship in 5 years. It's up to Alex Gordon. Giants took the lead while Affeldt was in there. The official score is telling us that the win would go to Madison Bumgarner, which would make him 3-0 in this World Series. Here's the 0-1. That's in the air to left center. That ball is down. And it gets past to the wall. Gordon is going to dig for third. A mistake in the outfield. And he will hold there with 2 out, representing the tying run.
Well, you see here, you talk about the mistake. He charged too hard. You're already playing no doubles, and that's exactly what it means. You don't want the ball by him. Blanco charged, got caught in between, and the slip allowed the ball to get by him. Right here, the decision to try to stop and then slipping, and the ball goes by him is better off waiting. Keep the ball in front of you. Keep that runner at first base.
It's the right decision to let the ball drop, but he made it too late. He wasn't able to handle a short bounce.
It's a single E8. And now it's Salvador Perez, who can tie it with a hit. '92 from Bumgarner, strike one. Man who has been the rock behind home plate for the Royals all year. The chance to tie it. Able to lay off 1 ball, 1 strike. Salvador Perez drilled by a pitch back in the second. The left leg almost couldn't continue, and here he is. Strike 2.
He continues to climb the ladder for his out pitch, and they continue to chase it.
Tying run at third, 2 out, 9th inning. The 1-2. 2-2. Bumgarner now up to 66 pitches here out of the bullpen in Game 7. Fought off. That's pitch number 290 in this World Series for Madison Bumgarner.
And he's not changing his pattern, Joe. He says, here it is, hit it, but he continues to climb the ladder, try to use their aggressiveness.
Salvador Perez, the 2-2. Popped up. Sandoval in foul territory. Giants win. A World Series win for the San Francisco Giants for the 3rd time in the last 5 years. And their hero, Madison Bumgarner. Bruce Bochy, in his 8th year as manager of the San Francisco Giants, now has his 3rd World Championship. Brian Sabian, the general manager, the architect, putting these teams together, moving parts, switching pieces. We'll let that celebration play out in the middle of this diamond. But guys, it's hard to put into words and into perspective what we saw this postseason, let alone this World Series from Madison Bumgarner.
I'm just in awe. I mean, truly great history is not subtle. It smacks you in the face. You know it at the time you're watching it. You're seeing something that's in the ages